All right, hello guys. Sean here with Blue Ridge. Hope everyone's having a great start to your day. We got Pocket Change Market Report for December 6th, 2024. All right, almost a full week into the month. Um, are things coming to a little bit of a slowdown? They might be. I'm really not seeing it at this particular point in time. Generally, that we see that somewhere around halfway through the month. So if you guys are looking to move some extra pieces that you don't need anymore, you could certainly sell them on eBay and make a few bucks in the process to get you guys geared up for Christmas and the New Year's and everything like that. Okay, it's always that time of year where there's that need for extra cash. Very understandable, and hopefully the PCMR videos are providing a little bit of insight of what's selling out there. Aside from some of the and I'm going to do a video on this here in the near future. This whole 2024 nickel roll thing that is like exploded on the internet is a real thing. That's been so far probably the biggest chase here, and ironically, it comes, to the last quarter of the year. Ironically, in the sense that, people can certainly use the extra money, keeping in mind that these 2024 Jefferson nickel rolls, because of their record low mintage, is really what's bolstering the market for these currently. Either a P or D. The Denver men are the big chasers. They're, currently trading for right around $80 to $100 a roll. Philadelphia rolls are somewhere in that 60 to 80. All right, so not too bad. I mean, it's great. I mean, that's amazing money. I mean, I'm not gonna, sugarcoat that by any means, but that seems to be like one of the big things, and it's a real thing. I ain't joshing you. Even I'm in that pursuit, and I haven't found anything yet. And not for a lack of trying. I go to a bunch of banks and talk to a lot of people, and they're just not seeing it. But there are folks all across the land here in the United States that are finding these. So I would encourage you to just ask and see what happens. You just never know what you're going to find. Um, so the general pocket change market report, we highlight errors and die varieties. Okay, we do that every single week, probably twice a week on certain occasions. All right, and these are all ungraded coins. So we're gonna take a look at the last, I would say, 48 hours of market activity. Yeah, we're kind of coming to a little bit of a close to the year on the platform, whatnot. We have a relatively big show tonight. I would say that if you guys are interested in knowing more, I would say you should probably pay me a visit later on tonight, and that's 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will have a small auction show beforehand. I think it's to be right around 3:30. But aside from that, we have our annual Blue Ridge Silverhound giveaway event. All right, we do this every holiday season. It's sure going to be a lot of fun. Come check things out. If you're not participating in the actual auction event, leave your wallets at home, your pocketbooks, and just come in and join in the fun. It's open to everyone, by the way. If you haven't signed up on the platform, I would suggest you do that today if you want to take part in this, because after the holiday event, we have one more auction, and then we are closed down for the rest of the year. Um, so I thought I'd let you guys know that. Unless anything changes, we'll let you know. Um, I have my referral link down below in the description box, and then we'll also have it pinned also in the comments. Hope to see you guys there this evening. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Um, we have roughly about 20 lots. Could be more. I just elected to do just 20. 1942D. All right, this is kind of a tough date right here, especially the non-silver type. They could actually call this the Type 1 because this one is in nickel composition form. So there was a little bit of a transition during this year where they, in the effort of rationing some of that precious nickel for the war efforts, the mint actually added manganese and silver, in lieu of the nickel. And that's your type 2. But the type 1s are quite scarce, especially in high grades. This particular one right here is nothing really to write home to mother about. It's not like, the most gorgeous coin in the world, but there's a big variety here, folks. This one is the D over horizontal D variety. This thing in high grades is wildly expensive. But finding one that's as worn as this one, it's not the end of the world. As a matter of fact, this one ended up selling for $54.58. Sometimes people just need an example of this coin. And man, it's awesome. I've never personally found one myself. I'm certainly due. I'll be honest, I haven't been looking, but you guys need to look because this thing is always big money. It doesn't matter what condition it's in. Um, and bicentennial coins, always the talk of the town, if and only if there is something major error-wise on the coin. Now, this is a 76D. You guys see what I see? You see it on both sides of the coin too. What's even more dramatic is the just strong die clashing that you see on the obverse. My goodness, this thing is sick, man. Um, I'm more than a little surprised it didn't sell for more because I've seen these sell into the hundreds of dollars. But let's not forget that the bicentennial coins with any sort of mint error, all right, they're always worth money, and they're highly coveted and very prized. This one right here sold for $104.58, all for simply just looking down into that handful of change that you receive back from the coffee shop or the restaurant or the grocery store or wherever. You just never know what you're going to find. Things like this float all around society today. It's just like free money. I love the sound of that, free money. So, especially this time of year, look for your free money. They're always out there. And bicentennial coins, man, I would look at every single one if I could. 1974D Lincoln Memorial Sun. This one has a pretty nice size cut die break over the word trust. So a piece of the die, just through wear and tear, had broken off, and because now there's an empty cavity on the die, when it strikes any coins, it's going to leave that cavity where the die flow is just going to go into that empty area of the die, creating a raised anomaly. Now, I will say that this 74D cut um, has been floating around on eBay in large numbers. And the big reason why was the precious metals company APMEX was selling full rolls of these as recently as, I believe, last year. They had a whole bunch of these rolls with these cut die breaks, and a lot of people bought them and they're flipping them. They're selling them on singular, coin basis here. So this one sold for $19.75. A very common cut because of the new, I guess, disbursement of BU examples of this one. Yeah, we also have paper money. Here's a 1974 $10 bill. Nice older size small head note is what we call it. Nothing too crazy here on the front of the note. It's actually a very nice condition piece. How about we flip this thing over? What's on there? Okay. So we have a full 100% front to back wet ink transfer. So you have the transfer of the whole design except the overprint of what you see on the front transferred onto the reverse. And that's all the transfer coming from the impression cylinder. So the impression cylinder and the plates made contact at one point without a subject sheet sitting in there. Almost kind of like equivalent to a coin die clash, like what we had seen on the bicentennial quarter. Um, so when another sheet feeds in, that inky impression on the impression cylinder will end up transferring to the reverse, and it's always mirrored, by the way. If it's not mirrored, it's not real. This one here sold for $152.99. Very well collected, and in high grades, they command some pretty astronomical numbers. Um, Now, in comparison, this thing is not the prettiest. It's not. 2000, I would suspect it's, I don't know if it's a P or D. We can't see it on the obverse of the coin. Struck through a lot of grease on the front, so it's obliterated some of The what they call peripheral design. That's what you see on the outside edge there. This one sold for $18. Okay, proving again that regardless of what the coin looks like, this thing has junk on the reverse. That's not going to stop a collector from owning it. And here's another similar situation, 1976D. Here's another Bicentennial for you guys. And another Denver at that, too. Look on both sides of the coin. This is probably the least favorite Bicentennial design with Independence Hall in the reverse. But still, it's got the dual date. It's still neat. One-off type piece here. So this one was struck through a little bit of debris. Could be like a little bit of grease and dirt, various other things that were sitting on the die at that point. Is going to get in the way of striking up the coin as full as it can. This one sold for $13.99. Another great strike through here on the very first American Women quarter, the Maya Angelou. You can see the strike through there on Washington's ponytail. So there again, a bunch of grease sitting on that die. Uh, they call this one the field restricted strike through. That's a mouthful. That's where uh, the feeder finger makes contact with the top of the die and whatever foreign substance is on that die. So this one here sold for $34.58. This is a common strike through, normally seen with the Sally Ride reverse design. I've seen a few on Maya Angelou, and this one's in actually really nice shape. All right, so the 35 price tag on this one, probably well justified. Is it off center or is it not? Are these two even the same coin? Well, yeah, they are. 1975D Jefferson nickel. It looks off center on the front, but centered on the reverse. What gives here? This is what they call a misaligned dies error. So that obverse die was misaligned, probably due to a little bit of play. They needed to tighten up that die on there, and it allows for things like this. You have a nice centered strike on the reverse, but it's off center on the front. These can get very, very out of hand, very dramatic, pretty easily. This one sold for $16.59 with two bids. Another common occurrence, and this is a form of die deterioration, so that's just the dies wearing out pretty quickly. 1946S Lincoln wheat cent. You can find this on a lot of dates, but you see the ghostly impression of Lincoln on the reverse. That's what they call a indirect design transfer. All right, or sometimes people add the word progressive on the front of that jargon to signify that this die deterioration looks like a ghostly form of Lincoln, and that's exactly what it is. This one sold and quite a hefty price tag because these aren't usually worth that kind of money. $41 with four bits. Again, my goodness, what a hell of a price on something like this where, usually they're not worth a whole lot at all, if any. But I know that some people do like these and they'll collect them if they're pretty strong. 1980, Lincoln Memorial Cent. This one has a couple of clips. All right, so the more clips on the coin, the more that they will be worth at some point. So two clips, one by the Liberty and then one at the bottom there of Lincoln. And it's a nice shape. This one sold for a $20 bill. If you do come across these, and they are quite common out there in circulation, I would certainly hold on to them. They're worth a lot more than you think. Another favorite here was a 2022 Philly Wilma Mankiller quarter with a big, huge cud die break. It's actually a retained cud on top of Washington's head. So there's a couple different types that you can find for this. Either the single-sided cud, which is what this one is. This is the kind of like the least valuable. But there's also another one with a pretty strong reverse die break as well. This one not showing a whole lot, except maybe a little small die crack going to the tip of that star. So these things right here used to be a couple $100. They're still very valuable. This one ended at $94.54. I mean, shoot, that's a nice little amount of money, but If it were me, I'd be looking for some 2024 nickels because those things are worth as much as this, and you can find those in quantity. Another great looking paper money error. Nice little butterfly gutter fold type deal there on the top left corner. So the sheet had folded in on itself before it was printed. 2003 dollar bill, so a relatively more modern date. Let's see the reverse here. Oh yeah, yeah, pretty cool, man. That is awesome. So if you see these, do not tear that off. Okay, I'm just saying it. I've seen it before. Bank employees have admitted that they've actually torn little small butterfly type folds like this, and all I could do is put my hand on my forehead and just like shake it. So this one here, ladies and gents, sold for what did this one sell for? 175 bucks. So that would be the kind of money that you would be leaving on the table by doing irreplaceable damage on something like that by just tearing off the little nub that's sitting on the corner. And we also have this just really beat up. Man, this thing is rough. It's even got a hole there on the top right corner of the note. 1935E, $1 silver certificate. You can see the misalignment of the print, just the top right serial number overlapping $1. That gives you everything you need to know about this thing. There's a little bit of the reverse showing the miscut and the misalignment of everything. This one sold for $58.88 with 7 bids. This was probably a note that was thumbtacked to a corkboard at some business for a long time. It looks like it's been sitting there for a while. And another good one to find. This one is actually in pretty decent shape. We've seen some pretty well circulated examples of what we like to call the Wounded Eagle reverse $1 Sacagawea coin. You can only find it on a 2000p. It's a Philadelphia coin. So you're going to look at the 2000p SAC dollars. I mean, they minted millions of these things on its debut release. But this one here has a couple of pretty cool die gouges that look like spears going through the bird. Poor bird didn't know what was coming to him. But you see that one long die gouge, which is raised on the coin, and then a little smaller die gouge to the left of that by the wing area. 65 bucks. Surprising because much nicer examples like this, I usually see sell for 100 plus. So well done. Nice find, nice sale, and nice score by the buyer too. 1939D, yeah, this is kind of a key date for the Jefferson Nichols series, and this one has some lamination on it. Nothing too crazy. The price tag, wow, pretty good, but it's a date, it's a key date, low mintage, and you just don't see a lot of mint errors on these. So the lamination is right by the word trust. There's actually a flipped up little tab of lamination there. It's still retained. This one sold for $37.46. I mean, come on now. Without the lamination, it's like a $5 to $7 coin. So again, another nice find and another great sale. Holy Strike Through Batman. We have a candy $half. We don't know what the date is on here because it's virtually obliterated. Lots of grease. Greasy dies is what we have here on this one. So this one sold for $36.99. If you guys overlook these while you're doing your roll hunts because you just like the eye on the prize is the silver, right? And we're just looking for silver and we're ignoring these, grave mistake. Grave mistake. Because these things are worth their weight in silver and in multiple pieces. Like, sell this thing for $37. Whatever you care or don't care about this coin, sell it and then buy yourself 3 silver 90% $half and some dimes or quarters. I don't care. But look at it that way, and then you're going to appreciate these a whole lot more. Yeah, hello, Talk of the Town, and this is the second such example of this has been found. So there are more out there. This is the Hovita Adar. I think I pronounced that correctly. American Women Quarter. Okay, one side struck in nickel, the other side obvious copper What in the world is going on here? Well, it's missing its nickel cladding on the reverse. Holy crap, this thing is awesome. I remember how cool the previous one is, and they're two different ones because the other one is a little bit weakly struck. Usually, when you're missing a clad layer, the planchet is going to be thinner, so it's not going to strike up all the devices. But this one is lights out. And the last one sold for hundreds of dollars, and then this one followed suit. A huge chase. I mean, if you guys are kind of gun shy about looking through quarter rolls, this might actually change your position on it because this one sold for $500. You ask me if it's worth that? Hell yes. I know of a couple collectors, especially on the Facebook side, that are looking for coins like this. And I'm willing to bet that probably one of those guys picked this thing up. What an incredible coin. And again, you just never know what you're going to find. Do you think the Mint has it figured out at this like late stage of the game where technology is like reigning supreme? Hell no, they're not. They don't have it figured out when things like this are, being found out there. So look for it, be attentive, and enjoy the spoils. Whether you're adding some epic coin to your collection or you're reselling it, man, there's so much opportunity out there. And I'm telling you this without a shadow of a doubt. There's so much extra money to be made out there. Speaking of which, here's a lot of five $2 bills. They're all consecutively serial numbered, and this thing is crazy. You can't tell by looking at these five notes. I mean, they're all brand spanking new. They look like they came out of a bank strap. But how about we superimpose just these two notes? You guys notice anything squirrely or funny? Look at the green seal on the right. Notice how they're insufficiently inked? Yeah, that's what happened here. So there was a number of notes that ended up not inked all the way. They called this an insufficient ink error on these, and they're very desirable depending on where they're at and what context. So the five notes that you see here all sold together for $484.55. Again, that's all due to being attentive and actually taking the extra moment to look at everything and not ignore something. All right, that's going to be the key to the success of, just trying to make something happen, right, guys? And this one right here, you really have to look. Again, there's a certain date of Jefferson nickel out there right now where you really it's effortless. Just look for 2024 nickels, right? And then each roll is like 80 to 100 bucks. It's real easy money in your pocket. Something like this, you got to know what's up with it before you can understand and price it out accordingly. But shoot, almost 500 bucks for this one as well. 1973 Roosevelt dime, off center by what, 25%? I mean, dime errors have been gaining some traction in the market. Um, Probably due to the announcement of the design change for 2026 for the semi-quincentennial event. Maybe that might be it. This one sold for $64.78. Oh man, awesome. Another one here. This one will shake up a few people thinking that it's like post-mint damage, where the coin took a hit. But allow me to explain. This is a 2000 Lincoln Memorial cent with a strike through right on the obverse. See that depression where Liberty is? So there was some grease on there. And before you say that this thing took a hit or whatever it is, this is a copper plated zinc composition. That copper plating is so razor thin that any sort of trauma to it will split the copper plating on there. Especially one that, if this thing took a hit as big as that depression is, yeah, you would see the zinc core very easily, but not on this one. So this one sold for $13.50 with 8 bids. Man, that's pretty cool, huh? I've seen a few of these quite similar to this. And let's see the final coin of the week. Oh man, there are a ton of varieties. If you dip back for far enough in the Washington Quarter Series, like into the '60s, both the silver and the clad era, There's some pretty bonkers cherry pickers guide varieties. Here's one here: 1963 Philadelphia Washington Quarter Doubled Die Obverse FS 101 Cherry Pickers Guide variety. This one is not gonna like blow the doors off your imagination, but quite nice. Look at the doubling on the motto, "In God We Trust." I mean, you can see the splits on every single letter there. And you can see it to a little bit lesser extent on the date. I think the one number here that I like to focus on is the 3. You can see a little bit of the splitting on that top curl right there. Yeah, so this is what you're looking for, and it's strong enough to be a cherry picker's guide variety. I mean, sign me up. This one sold for $34.52. What an incredible find! Again, this is one that I've never personally found before. And I'd like to say I found a lot of really neat um, mid varieties and errors. So again, another one to add to you guys' portfolio of future finds. Well, that's it, guys. Ooh, man, what a great list, top to bottom. Really awesome. And hopefully, this video gives you some incentive to go out there and like really make it happen. I do want to reiterate the information in this video is for entertainment purposes only. All right, not financial advice. Please collect and or grade your coins responsibly. And that's going to go ahead and wrap things up. I'm your host, Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. I have a certain holiday show to get prepped up for on Whatnot. I want to see you guys there. I want to see a record attendance, and we're going to have fun. So, yes, hope you guys are ready, because I'm ready. I will see you guys later. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next coin video. Keep on hunting, my friends.